Massive episode today. We've got the first leg of the knockout round of the Champions League away against Barcelona and the EFL Cup Final against Leicester. We could potentially take a step towards progressing in the Champions League and pick up a first piece of silverware in over 10 seasons. Hello and welcome to Season 19, Episode 9 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode, we're away against Barcelona in the Champions League, and then at Wembley against Leicester in the EFL Cup Final. Since you were last with me, the new tactic is still working to an acceptable level. We did get knocked out of the FA Cup by Everton, but depending on how the Barcelona game goes now, we might end up seeing that as a blessing in disguise, because it's been tricky managing all these cup runs. Potentially 5 games time, all cups could be over for us. But if, and it's a big if we manage to negotiate our way past Barcelona, we don't really want to be trying to compete in the late stages of the Champions League whilst in the late stages of the FA Cup, whilst still battling to get up into a Champions League qualification spot in the Premier League, because despite the good run of form that we've been on, that terrible start we had is still costing us. So with 26 games gone and only 12 games left, we're still not up in the Champions League spots. We're only 2 points behind Norwich at this point, but we have got Chelsea, Liverpool and Man United breathing down our necks as well. So it's not just a case of us desperately trying to catch Norwich and Stoke. We've also got 3 massive teams who are all trying to do the same thing. It's going to be tight for these Champions League qualification spots again, just like it was last year. Massive bright point, though, is the incredible form of Michael Vendrig. He's now the second highest scorer in the Premier League, valued at £31 million at this point, and has a quite superb, if you look in all competitions, 33 goals from 34 starts. That'll do nicely. So, the team that we're playing against Barcelona, and a lot of thought went into this, because I'm really tempted to go back to the 4-3-1-2, because we know it works against big teams. But I'm afraid this has served us really well. We're going to stick with it. It's potentially a big risk. We're going to be counter-attacking because we're away from home, and it's not the only big risk that we're going to be taking today, because we're taking a massive risk with Cotton Eye Joe, because he's fit-ish. He had a slip disc. He's started training again. He's not close to match fit, but he's a world-class player. He's a World Cup winner. We're away against Barcelona. I feel like he's the kind of player who needs to be in that team. So he's going to start on the left-hand side, because we're having to shuffle our attacking 3 around quite a lot. Ludek Sedlacek has picked up an injury and he's out for 4 to 5 months with a broken leg. His season is over. What that means is Igor Anicic is going to get a long run in the team playing on the right wing now, because as you'll know, we weren't able to sign a right winger in January because we weren't able to move on any of the players that we were trying to move on. And Anicic is the only one who can sort of play there. So we're playing with him out of position. We've brought Ijo back in as well, but we have moved Oscar back into the middle to play as a shadow striker, his strongest position. I think that 3 there, Vendrig, Oscar and Ijo, potential world-class, awesome front 3. And the other advantage of the combination of players that we've got is that if it really looks like it's not going well, we can really easily switch to a 4-3-2-1, 4-3-1-2 even, by dropping Anicic back into the midfield 3, moving Ijo up alongside Vendrig, leaving Oscar where it is. So there's some flexibility to it, but we are going to start things off 4-2-3-1, counter-attacking, with Igor in goal, a back four of Nyhouse, Caetano, Eriksson and Undai. Ziyech and Wagner are going to be our midfield 2, with Ijo, Oscar and Anicic behind Vendrig. There are some big names on the injury list at the moment. We're missing Sedlacek, Plotnikov, Nole, Thompson and Hansel are both not registered for the competition, so every player in our squad who is fit and able to play is part of the 18 today. That we're getting to that sort of desperation stage, and we don't have an attacking player on the bench. So Ijo's not going to make it through the whole game. I'm not really sure what we do then. I guess at that point we bring on Sir Brian and move Oscar out to the left-hand side. Oh, it's going to be messy. What did the physio say about the fitness test? So Ijo can only play a half. He's on until half-time. Hopefully he can make a difference in that time. So at half-time, Sir Brian's coming on and Oscar's going to move out to the left. Hopefully by then, Ijo's got a hat-trick and we've basically knocked Barcelona out of the Champions League. My thinking is it's enough of a surprise that it might just, I don't know. So I feel like surprising the big teams away from home is not a bad idea. Yes, they're a good team. Who cares though? We're going to beat them, and it's going to be because of inspirational leadership from World Cup winner Cotton Eye Joe. And there you go, he's got the ball now. First touch and they fouled him. I mean, I suppose that's fair. Player's out for a long time of an injury. He's back early as a surprise. So what do? Fouled him the first time he gets the ball. It's tactical. It's not what you really expect from Barcelona, but they gave him a good kick in, and hopefully he rises to that and goes on and still scores that hat-trick that we've been promised. He's only got 12 minutes left to do it because he's coming off at half-time regardless, because I don't want to break him. We've got a very big game against Leicester coming up at Wembley, but Vendrig's got the ball here, finds Oscar, who's pushed beyond him. It's good to see Oscar so central for the first time in goodness knows how long, and a fully fit Cotton Eye Joe scores there. It bounces back off the post, and Ijo's a little bit slow to get to it. He'll get back to that point, I'm sure. But that's the last we're going to see of him today, because we need to make that substitution. Let me know down in the comments, was it silly playing him in the first place? It probably was. But we'll bring Sir Brian on. He's had a cracking season. Oscar can go back out to the left, where he's been very effective all season long. We're playing in front of 99,354 people. That is the biggest attendance that we've played in front of throughout Non-League Legends this year so far. And I we were very scrappy and all over the place there, and I didn't really get it clear. This might be his first game back after returning from the African Nations Cup, and I don't know. I think Senegal got all the way through to the final. I didn't actually look if they won it, but he did stay out there for an awfully long time, and that's a really poor clearance. No offence to the African Nations Cup. I feel like it's a little bit of a step up from that to playing against Barcelona. It showed a little bit there for Mandai. And, I mean, 1-0 defeat away against Barcelona is fine. Remember, it's over 2 legs. As long as they don't go and get another 4, we could still be all right. They've got another 1. We're now getting into the realms of we need an away goal. 1-0 I could have handled. 2-1, of course, is much better than 1-0. If it gets to 3-0, it starts to become difficult. And I don't like difficult. I'm trying to look on the plus side. The plus side is we were never going to win the Champions. Oh, Nyhouse with a massive miss. Why was it even him who was there? That's the only clear-cut chance of the game so far, and it falls to our left back, who had no business being in that position anyway. Igor does well to collect that in. But what I was trying to say before Nyhouse just ruined my day, he's going to try and make up for it now, was that we're not going to win the Champions League. So if we're not going to win it, priority needs to be making sure we're in it next year. So let's convince ourselves we want Barcelona to knock us out, because then we can fully focus on the Premier League. Forget all that. Vendrig's got one back. He's got the all-important away goal. It's 2-1. 2-1. If you're going to lose, you want to lose 2-1 in the Champions League. 2-1 is absolutely fine. So Brian, just little touch through. Vendrig hits it straight at the keeper, who should have done much better with it. He doesn't, and we don't care, because with 20 minutes to go, it's 2-1. And that's good. We like 2-1. Right, Caetano is not having the best of games. We've even resorted to playing Medor at centre-back a couple of times recently, but we'll bring Alfie Welsh on today. He's our captain. I know he's 4th choice, but he's our captain. He's the only English player in the squad. So at times like this, you need a little bit of leadership and a little bit of experience. He's an established international. Vendrig with it wasn't Vendrig. Was it Anicic with the ball forward? I didn't even see where it came from, but Vendrig was in and for some reason just stopped. I think he got a little bit afraid. Igor makes the save, or it comes back off the post. Is that our former player, Krapov, playing at left back for them? I remember him. Right, we're not going to bring Medor on for Ericsson. That seems silly. We haven't got Hansel because he's not in the squad. So Anicic, we have no one who can come on and play on that right-hand side. Do we go to the 4-3-1-2 for the last 10 minutes, or is that just stupid when we've done so well? I think it's probably stupid. We're going to bring on Sandy Patterson for Oscar, and we'll get Sir Brian. Actually, no, we might leave Patterson out there. I mean, our wide players are pretty ineffective at this point, and we're desperately low on strikers. With Nole and Sedlacek injured, I mean, the only other player who could play up front is Anicic, and he's needed in the team on the right wing. Our squad is smaller than I thought it was. There's work to do this summer, regardless of where we finish and what we win or don't win. Conceding a third now would be very upsetting. And Anicic does brilliantly to come away with the ball. Go on, let's hit him on the break. Anicic is still going, but ends up stopping. But we've got the ball back through Ziyech. And then Wagner out to Patterson. What can he do? Wagner, no, he loses out. Wagner's not had the best of games. I don't really know why I played Wagner. I'm rotating the midfield against Barcelona. Sedman should have been in, and that is sickening this late. It's not a disaster. We've got the away goal, but I mean, look at that. Just showing off a little bit, leaping over the lunging challenge, and the whole defence should be doing a little bit better there. It'd be unfair to put all the pressure on Ndiaye. Go on, let's grab another one. I mean, if we get another one back again, it doesn't matter that they've just scored. Oh, Sir Brian with the chance with 10 seconds left on the clock. 9 times out of 10, that's at least on target. I'm a little disappointed, but it's not a disaster. We can come back from this, and we'll find out if we do in the next episode. Now we've got to prepare for the EFL Cup Final, which is like 2 days away, because fixtures are stupid. Right, we've made a couple of changes for the EFL Cup Final. We've got to keep players fit and all that, you know. I don't even know who my first choice team is anymore. That's the truth of it more than anything. So Hansel comes in at left back, and Patterson comes back into the midfield to allow Ijo to drop down to the bench. He can play for an hour, apparently, according to his fitness test today, but he wasn't particularly effective for a half on the left wing in the Barcelona game. So I'm thinking last 20 or 30 minutes as a replacement for Vendrig, actually playing him up front might be a little bit more effective, or even pushing Vendrig out to the wing as and when Ijo comes on. But that's the plan at the moment. I'd like to think we don't need Ijo. We're going for a standard mentality initially. That might change as the game goes on, but I thought for a cup final against a team who the league table says we're a little bit better than, but not significantly better than Leicester. So let's just feel them out for a half even, see where we are at half time, and decide how we need to tweak the mentality at that point, depending on who's winning and how the game's been going. Vendrig does well to win the ball back, but can't get there for the second ball. And we're chasing around a little bit at the moment. We seem to have had quite a slow start, but the ball comes out to Vendrig and finds Anicic out on this right wing again. That's a great ball from Anicic. Vendrig's in, and with 4 minutes on the clock, it's 1-0. And I tell you what, Igor Anicic might be a right winger because he played so well against Barcelona, tracking back. He was up and down that right wing constantly, and he's just got the quality to do that, which we haven't had from our wide players yet this season, and I like having that. We might have finally found a way to get Igor Anicic into this team week in, week out. I mean, he's there for the rest of the season regardless, with Sedlacek with a broken leg. But hopefully in that time he can retrain himself properly as a right winger, and we won't need to sign a replacement in the summer, because he's had a decent start to his life out on the right wing. I have to give him a new number. We can't have a number 6 playing on the wing. That just doesn't feel right to me. We've conceded a goal. It's 1-1. That was unexpected. I thought, when you score after 4 minutes, you expect to just run away with the game at that point, but alas, it's not to be. This is my 900th game in management, by the way, according to a media report before the match. And apparently I came in for some criticism when I was at Ipswich for not signing a single English player when I was at the club. I haven't checked. Can you remember if I signed any English players? For a start, Kevin Thompson was English when I signed him. It's not my fault he then became Jamaican. But maybe I didn't sign any other English players. I don't think I've signed any English players for Spurs either, other than Kevin Thompson, who again was English when I signed him. I probably need to sign an English player at some point, because it's getting on for 10 seasons since I have, and Wagner has just scored an absolute beauty. He's just reminding me why he's in the team, because he's got the ability to do that, which none of the other central midfielders we've got can pick the ball up and just do that out of nothing the way Wagner can. And I like the fact that he can do it. I want to give him a little run in the team because I want to keep him. I think I'm pretty much decided that Sedman's the one who's going to leave. Wagner's done it again. 15 minutes on the clock. It's 3-1. And Wagner is having a whale of a time. But I know Sedman is a world-class midfielder. And if we play him and Ziyech together, we've got 2 world-class midfielders. And having a world-class midfield is a thing that we would probably want to have. But Wagner's 5 years younger than either of them. He's the future of our midfield. He's a current Brazilian international. I think it would be silly to let him go to waste. We've just scored again. Is that another assist for Anicic? It was gone down as an own goal, but It was Anicic who drove it towards goal-ish to begin with, I think. Or was it Wagner? No, it comes out to Anicic. Anicic just whacks it across goal. I mean, that's a sloppy own goal. There was no one challenging him. It's come off the back of his heels. But with 25 minutes on the clock, we're 4-1 up. And I would like to think from here we can't mess this up. We should be about to win our first trophy at Tottenham. Our first trophy since we won that thing at Hamilton, that pretend cup that we won there. We've obviously won leagues lower down the pyramid since then. We've won the Championship. We've won League One. Did we win that more than once? I think we won that with Plymouth and Ipswich, didn't we? We've won... Did we ever win League Two? How did we get out of League Two with Southend? Yeah, we won back-to-back, didn't we? And we won League One with Southend. So we've won lots of leagues. Never a big one. But only that one cup. We got to the FA Cup final with Ipswich. The Tottenham under-23s are in the Checker Trade Nonsense Trophy final in a few weeks' time back at Wembley. Alfie Welsh, bless his cotton socks, played against Barcelona for us the other night, and then the next night played for the under-23s against Leyton Orient to book them a place in the final. Vendrick's just got his second of the game. We're 5-1 up now. We are absolutely destroying Leicester. I don't think there's any need at all to switch with our mentality. We'll just carry on doing standard. Seems to be working rather well. And Vendrick, does that officially put him up to a goal a game again if he's got 2 today? Because he scored against Barcelona, didn't he? So I think he is back up to a goal a game for the season now. Leicester are switching their formation up again. They have no idea what to do. Bless them. It's not. Imagine being a Leicester fan. You come to Wembley and just get absolutely spanked. I'd be on the tube on my way home at this point with 20 minutes to go. And I'd miss a goal by my team. So what do I know if they come back into this now? I'm smack talking a little bit early. Have I learnt nothing from the famous 6-6 draw of however many seasons ago it was at this point? Apparently I haven't learnt anything at all. I am interested as well, down in the comments, let me know what your game plan is to beat Barcelona, because that's the thing I'm starting to turn my attention to at this point. We've got a 2-goal deficit to overturn against Barcelona, but we do have that away goal. How do we do that then? We're going to bring Brune on. Sedman and Brune come on. I don't think we need to mess around with the mentality at all. If they score again here, we might drip down to counter-attacking. Drip down to counter-attacking? Is that a thing people say? Probably not. I'm making up catchphrases now. Ericsson with another good challenge. Patterson, I mean, that's sloppy from Sandy Patterson, but we've won the ball back anyway. And sloppy from Patterson again. It might be time for him to come off and introduce Sir Brian to the game. But Vendrick beats his man, plays Anicic in. Can he have a hat-trick of assists? He can't. Tell you what, Igor Anicic, it's got to be a shout for man of the match in this game. I know in theory Wagner and Vendrick are better because they've scored 2 goals each. But Anicic has been superb, playing out of position. He gets my vote for man of the match, assuming I get one. We'll bring Nyhouse on as well. There's no point bringing Cotton Eye Joe on in a game like this. We've already got it won. We don't need to risk him. We were silly against Barcelona. We don't need to be silly again. And with 5 minutes left, Leicester have gone to a weird Christmas tree thing now. You can't see it because I'm in the way. There you go. Weird Christmas tree thing. That's how England played in Euro 96. And it was weird then too. And the game is just sort of petering out at this point. We're not making any attempt to attack, but also seemingly not making much of an attempt to keep hold of the ball either. So we're giving Leicester a lot of time with the ball. They've just hit the post. I mean, there's no fear of them coming back into the game at this point, but it would be nice for us to be a little bit more efficient in closing things out. We've already shown once in this episode how sloppy we are at the 90-minute mark of a game because we let Barcelona in. Now potentially we're going to get Leicester in as well. Is Wagner this close to a cup final Wembley hat-trick? It's going to be the only opportunity in his career he gets to do that. And I hope one day I have to eat those words when he gets a hat-trick in the Champions League final at Wembley for us. But for today, we've finally won a blooming trophy. The EFL Cup. Huzzah! Does that move me any closer to the Hall of Fame? I can't be anywhere near the Hall of Fame yet, surely. But look at all that. Everyone's very happy about the EFL Cup. And of course, does qualify us for Europe for next year. So it takes a little bit of pressure off from the league. Although obviously we want to be back in the Champions League. None of this Europa League nonsense. But there you go. We've won a trophy. Awesome. That's worth a like, surely. If you have enjoyed that episode and enjoyed us winning our first trophy in over 10 seasons, then please pop a like on there. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more. And thank you very much for watching. And come back 7 o'clock tonight. Got a little treat for you. I'm playing the original Football Manager game from 1982. That's worth coming back for at 7 o'clock tonight. Thanks for watching.